here with us on Overdrive. Within months of the Audi Q3 making it down to India, the Audi Q3 Sportback has also followed onto our shores, and mechanically the SUV remains the same. So why should we pick the Q3 Sportback over the Q3? Let's find out.
Now, if you want a small luxury SUV in India, you're pretty much sorted with an option to choose from every major car brand that there is in the luxury segment. But if you want that striking coupe SUV shape, that's not quite the case. But that changes now with the Audi Q3 Sportback. It's the first of its kind in its segment, and today we'll tell you what it's like. Now, the Audi Q3 Sportback is slightly longer and slightly lower than the regular Q3, and that's gone into creating this section here. Now, needless to say, this really is the center of attention of this SUV, and it's what catches your eye immediately when you look at it first. And that's because of this heavily raked windscreen, which then in the way merges with this short deck over here along with these haunches. So it's a really aggressive shape. As you keep coming below, you notice that this tail lamp unit is very similar to the regular Q3. Maybe a slightly slimmer one would have gone better with the rest of the design. But then below you notice this bumper design, which is from the S-Line package that is standard with this variant. And that's really quite aggressive again with these 4 diffuser elements, this silver sort of accenting here. So yeah, the Q3 Sportback really does look quite sharp from the back side at least. The S-Line styling package also gets you a dark meshed grille with silver highlights as well as large triangular silver accents on the bumpers. The quite plain 18-inch alloys of the SUV have been replaced by a more aggressive design. In profile, also noticeable is the more elongated teardrop glass area that enhances the sense of length with the Sportback. Now, this added dose of style hasn't come at the cost of practicality. Audi says that you'll still get a 530-litre boot, same as the regular Q3, but of course in the real world, with this sloping boot lid, you will not be able to stack as many boxes or as many bags as you could in the regular Q3. But other than that, the space itself is similarly flat and usable like in the regular Q3. Now, from where I'm sitting, there's really not that much that's different between the Q3 Sportback and the regular Q3. Yes, you do get these S-Line sill plates, but other than that, there could have been maybe, sportier S-Line seats, maybe an all black, a slightly different interior theme or aluminium pedals, to build that sportier atmosphere that's already present with the changes that have been made outside of this coupe SUV. You get that same sharp-edged and technical-looking design with quite a dose of functionality thrown in. The sense of quality is typically Audi too, with hefty switches, tight panel gaps all around and top-tier materials. There's also good space for storage. Now, the 2680mm wheelbase of the Audi Q3 Sportback is again exactly the same as the regular Q3, which means that the big increases in legroom and kneeroom that you saw with that new SUV continues here as well. As you can see, there's a lot of space here. Similarly, these seats, they give you a lot of underthigh support. The seat back angle is also quite right. It's very well cushioned. But yeah, it's best for 2 people, again, like the regular Q3, because of this small, small middle seat and this big hump. Now, yes, where the problems do happen or where there is a compromise to be made is in terms of headroom. And Audi has done well here. It has scooped out the headlining quite a bit. So yeah, if you're not extremely tall, it won't be a problem. But yeah, you are trading off some amount of headroom and an area cabin for that striking look that you get on the outside. It's again the same with the amenities that you get here. So yeah, the missing USB ports are still an issue, but you get this nice center armrest with these cup holders, and yeah, also these nice storage pockets on the sides and here, as well as in the doors obviously. So it's still a reasonably practical space, the rear seat of the Q3 Sportback. The Q3 Sportback is available in a single Technology Plus trim, which gives it equipment like a 10.1-inch touchscreen, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, powered front seats with lumbar adjustment, dual zone climate control, wireless charging, leather upholstery, ambient lighting and 6 airbags. Now, the Q3 Sportback is mechanically identical to the regular Q3. So again, it's powered by the same 2-litre turbo petrol that we've seen in many Audis and other VW products, with its 190 PS and 320 Newton meters. And here it's paired with the Quattro all-wheel drive system and the 7-speed DCT. So on the move, again, it's a familiar driving experience. So like the regular Q3, it's not the quietest. The engine is not the most refined of cars in this segment. But again, that's really not a problem once you see how easily the performance is on offer. So shifts work how most of these DCTs work nowadays. They're just in the background, you don't really notice it. The engine will give you performance as soon as you want it, like this. So the shifts are quite snappy, at least in the normal and this auto or even in the sport mode. Yes, in the efficiency mode it goes into a coasting setting which boosts mileage quite a bit on the highway. So yeah, there the shifts aren't quite as snappy, but you do get reasonably good fuel economy out of this car. So yeah, when you're going about town, there's no problem at all. It's giving you power whenever you need it, however you need it. And similarly, the ride and handling character is really not that different from the regular Q3. So as long as the roads are smooth, you'll just go along quite solidly, with quite a bit of confidence like we are right now. And yes, when the roads do get rough, you do move around a little bit inside. There's some thudding that comes through, but for example right now. But again, it's not something out of the ordinary that we've seen in Audi before. And the handling again is very typically Audi's. So yeah, the Quattro all-wheel drive does give you that sense of security, especially when you're say driving on a hilly road and so on and so forth. But on a normal road like this, the steering in any of the modes, it's quite well judged. So it's not overly light and also not overly heavy. So it's just right, so it's precise, so you know what the car is doing reasonably well. The suspension again, as speeds rise, it becomes more pliant. It's still slightly on the softer side, so you do notice some body movements. But again, it's nothing that will, take you off guard or anything like that. So like the regular Q3, the Q3 Sportback is also quite a straightforward, easy to drive car. At Rs 51.43 lakh, the Audi Q3 Sportback is an expensive proposition. It's Rs 1.04 lakh more than the equivalent Q3, but doesn't have any direct rivals. So you will stand out in a crowd, which is pretty much this SUV's brief. Now it's up to you to decide if the extra money spent is worth the attention, since the Q3 Sportback has the specs, features and driving character to match the more traditional SUVs it will be judged against.
Well, with that, it's time for us to wrap up this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And you can follow our latest updates on Instagram. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.